Until next time. See you next time. Let's do this one backwards.
Okay. Is this what you meant?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon.
Rye.
We're drinking a rye.
We are, and it's a very, very special one.
Okay, so let's see what it is.
Let's bring it on in. We've got BAM from Storytime Distillery, Old Dragon Bones. So as you said, I did win this bottle.
Yes.
From Storytime Distillery. We've talked about them before. Storytimedistillery.com.
Everybody knows.
It's an online club.
Yep.
So there was 109 bottles of this made. Unfortunately, this is one of those reviews of a bottle that you can't get anymore. But
Well, that's a true unicorn.
right, exactly. But there are going to be more versions of Old Dragon Bones. This is the first one. We've had the second one, which is Coulibre, which is amazing. We have a review of that.
Yep.
There is another expression coming
That
out.
just was announced and it's under pre-order.
Pre-order,
At
yep.
the same StorytimeDistillery.com. Become a member.
Yep.
Have access to great whiskey.
So while you may not be able to get this one, there are more,
Yeah.
just different versions coming out. This is a 16-year Canadian rye bottled at 147.2 proof.
147.2. I've never had a whiskey that high in
I haven't either.
caliber. I mean, typically we do blends, and when you blend, you double the whiskey proof.
Oh, of
and
course, yeah,
and
that's
so
how-
we're
that's how
often
math
drinking
works.
200 and 300 proof whiskey, but normally a single one is not that high,
Right. So this is hazmat whiskey.
which means it's not allowed to sit in the seats of an airplane or something like that.
Yeah,
or
you can't transport it in a commercial airline. Boy, the nose is fantastic.
It's
on
dark.
this. Very dark. It's dark in the glass. I think after 16 years and that high of proof, you're going to get that.
Yeah, definitely well aged. It was probably aged in Canada though.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it says it's a product of Canada, so.
Yeah.
It's got the nice rye spice to it, but it also has an interesting sweetness kind of underlying.
I'm getting a note that it is a little bit like Pop-Tart. And I know that there's different flavors of Pop-Tarts, but it's almost like the crust of the Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it has some sort of like pastry vibe to it. I think maybe that's kind of the sweetness I'm getting out of it. I would agree with that.
I expect it to have a really, how do I say this, wood forward.
Sure. And drop in the "that's what she said" right here.
That's what she said.
I'm guessing oak notes are going to be prominent.
Yeah.
Based
Well,
on this.
let's find out. Let's get into the taste here. Cheers.
How did they do that?
That is dangerous whiskey.
Now you need to remember you're drinking hazmat level.
Yeah. You know what's interesting?
That's
This
interesting.
it's incredible. The proof is manifesting itself in a different way.
I would
on this.
agree.
It's manifesting itself not just as like the sharp alcohol heat, but it's literally, it feels like hot, like I just had hot sauce or
Yeah,
something. Like my mouth is burning a little bit.
I kind of agree, but I'm also getting this interesting, it's somewhere between sweet tart and grape, like wine finish notes. Like, did they do anything to this? Mm-mm. Huh, that's just, like it drinks like a finished whiskey, and maybe I'm getting that all the time now.
Oh, that is just amazing. That's incredible. You can't see it on the camera, I'm sure, but the legs on this, the way it clings to the glass,
It's
definitely got that premium kind of oily viscosity, the mouth feel.
Exceptional mouthfeel.
It burns my tongue in a unique way. Like it's, How's that funny?
I don't know. I'm just finding anything dirty in anything now, apparently.
But I mean, obviously, you pick up different flavors to different parts of your tongue. Mm-hmm. But this is burning different parts of my tongue differently. And burn is probably too strong of a word. Like it's not a bad thing. It's just you definitely notice it. I think some of it's just the ethanol, but it's also the wood spice and a lot of the other things happening in the whiskey.
Yeah.
This is really interesting experience type whiskey.
This is one of those ones where it's frustrating that this one doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
In the realm of possibility to buy.
But
But again, there are going to be more releases. And speaking of which,
I wasn't speaking of a witch.
well, speaking of more releases, we do have the Coulibre release.
We do.
Yeah, it's right over here. It just happens to be over here. Do you think maybe at some point in the next couple minutes,
Well,
we should bring it in for a comparison?
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more step. Why don't we go ahead and bring it in, and let's do a pour. Well,
All
let's
right.
bring it in.
Bam, here's the Coulibre. So this is an 18-year whiskey, and I think it spent 1 year in, was it Oloroso Sherry?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. Second fill date was 6/28/22, and it came out this year, 2023. So about a year in the Oloroso Sherry. So we got a 17-year.
So these are actually the same age, but then that one went into another, because this was actually
this is
bottled
16.
a year ago.
So it was 17-year and then spent another year.
okay.
So this is an 18-year at 136.4. So 18-year-old Canadian rye, bottled at 136.4, Oloroso Sherry cask finish. So let's get into the Coulibre and see what the difference is.
Not
Cheers.
getting quite as much on the nose from the Coulibre, although after drinking 140, whatever it is, proof whiskey, kind of like kills your senses.
It's so good. It's definitely different, noticeably different.
It's a little bit brighter.
It's definitely brighter. I'm for
this
sure getting that.
Really has dark notes. I don't drink a lot of Oloroso Sherry, but I'm definitely getting wine notes off of it.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna maybe be the weirdest kind of tasting note I've thrown out here on this channel. But I'm almost, you said like the wine notes and the sweetness. I'm almost getting like a borderline, like a champagne sweetness, brightness. You know, like that particular sweetness that comes along with like a sweet champagne? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't drink a lot of champagne. I guess, I think I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of like little notes. Not that it tastes like champagne, of course, but it's just like notes of that same similar. Yeah, the original one is definitely a darker. It almost reminds me of like a.
Almost coffee.
I'm with you on that, but almost like I know you said you don't like
Root beer.
rye. That is interesting. Yeah, because sometimes you get a root beer barrel note from a rye.
Yeah.
Like root beer barrel candy.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, definitely that root beer candy.
But I'm almost getting like a buttered pastry vibe to it. Like almost like a rye muffin or something. I know you're not a fan of like rye
I don't
bread,
know if I've ever had that.
but like some sort of like a buttered muffin. Like it's got that baking
Sure.
sort of vibe to it. All right, let's get one more sip of the Coulibre.
So I know Shane at least will be watching this review.
Yeah,
And
well done on both
well
fronts.
done on both of them.
So Shane can
But-
probably do the blend.
Well, I think he probably has the bottle. I wonder if he ever has, because
So this is a 50-50 blend. These were about even. And plenty of our friends in the Whiskey Tube universe are subscribers to Storytime. And I don't know if they have, I think Sean at Whiskey Wars probably got a bottle of the original, I think maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Bobby's drank it. I don't know if those were samples or not. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
anyway, if you have these two, definitely try the blend. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but how do you not? You know?
I mean, so what's 16 plus 18?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's a Tootsie Pop.
So this is a 34-year-old rye.
There you go. What's the proof on this? 300 and some? Almost 300? 270, 280?
Yeah, in that range.
Because that's how math works again. I'm getting kind of the Tootsie Pop vibes, which I didn't get individually on either one of them, but like that kind of Tootsie Roll chocolatey note with that almost like a grapey sort of.
Like it's somewhere between a cherry and a grape. is there a fruit that occupies that space? Because there's a little bit of cherry specific notes, and I think a lot of that is wood spice. But then there's also this hint of grape.
That is amazing.
It's very unique.
That's the best rye I've ever had.
It is.
I'm going to just call it right now. The 50-50 blend of these two is the best rye I've ever had. That is so good.
What else is in there? Oh, huh. This is not a note I get off of whiskeys very often. Do you like peach iced tea?
No, I don't like anything peach. I'm not getting any peach vibes.
I'm getting
peach vibes.
some sort of, something in that, like, because that's more of a brighter kind of like style of flavor.
Yeah, that's amazing. If you have both of these bottles, you have to try the 50-50 blend. That's the best blend we've ever done.
Oh, I would
in
agree.
my opinion.
Yep.
That's amazing. I remember when we had the Thomas H. Handy Sazerac, and I said that was probably the best rye I've had, and it's really good.
It's really, really good.
We did a review of that, and then we drank some of that in a live stream with Steven over at Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans, and all three of us were just loving it. And I remember that one having that kind of like buttered pastry, super rich. This definitely beats that, in my opinion, I think. And unfortunately, these bottles are actually much more rare than the Thomas H. Handy.
That's right.
So,
yeah, the unicorn of unicorns, but still.
yeah,
it's
how many
kinda-
bottles of this were made?
Is it
104 and 109.
9?
I mean, just the concept of that is,
Yep.
yeah, that's amazing. So, yeah, in short, we're big fans of Old Dragon Bones for sure. Can't wait for the next one to come out.
Rye or rum finished cask.
Rum finish, right? That's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. All right, well, this has been the original Old Dragon Bones with a special appearance by the Old Dragon Bones Coulibre from Storytime Distillery on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.